Hello everyone, welcome to Daily Current Affairs series. Today we will discuss about 18th May current affairs. Myself Sunny Sandeep. Welcome to my channel Gear Up for Group 1 exam. Let us discuss the current affairs. The first one, lockdown extended, states will take a call on infection zone. Here the decision to extend the lockdown was taken after the National Disaster Management Authority directed the center and state governments to continue the lockdown measures to contain the spread of the novel coronavirus. Here our center given some more relaxations. Here are the list of permitted activities for the fourth phase of the lockdown. As notified by the Minister of Home Affairs is an order. What are allowed and what is not allowed. Here buses, auto rickshaws and cabs. All shops except those in malls and containment zones. Here weddings with not more than 50 guests and funerals with not more than 20 guests. Barber shops and saloons, restaurants only for takeaway, cap on 33% strength in a office is removed, work from home is encouraged. Social distancing and staggered work hours to be followed. Interstate movement vehicles to be decided by the states mutually. Delivery of essential and non-essential items allowed through the online shopping platforms. Here, what is not allowed? Metro, air and rail services, except those allowed with special trains like Shramik Expresses, schools, colleges and malls, religious, political gatherings, night curfew for the non-essential services remain in force from 7 pm to 7 am. Here, vulnerable groups like those above 65 years of age, pregnant women and children below 10 to remain at home. Wearing of masks compulsory in public places and workplaces. States can decide the disinfection delineation of zones into red, green, orange and containment zones. These are the relaxations given by our center, what is allowed and what is not allowed. Center throws open all sector to the private players. There is a stimulus package, 20 lakh crore stimulus package announced by our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji in a 5 trenches. The first trench is about MSMEs and second trench is for migrant laborers and third trench is for agriculture and fourth trench, that is yesterday we have seen in our analysis, that is sectors like coal, mines, minerals and power. These are the sectors like. Here final dose. The fifth tranche of the economic package under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan was announced on Sunday. Here in health, public spending to be increased, more health and wellness centers, infectious diseases hospitals and public health labs to be set up in all districts. Disinvestment, public sector firms in a non-strategic sectors to be privatized. No more than 4 public sector undertakings to remain in strategic sectors to be notified soon. Here states borrowing yield raised from 6.41 lakh crore, that is 3% of GDP, to the 10.69 lakh crore. Only a quarter of these hikes is unconditional, rest are linked to reforms in specific areas. Here unemployment, MG Narega, that is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee, allocation hiked by 40,000 crores to fund 300 crore person days. Here aimed at giving migrants who have returned home an income option. Industry, fresh insolvency proceedings suspended for a year, eligible loan size to be hiked from 1 lakh to 1 crore. COVID-19 related debt not to trigger defaults, firms can list abroad directly. These are the relaxations. These are the final tranche, that is fifth tranche. Final dose is given by our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji. Next one, Odisha braces for a Amphan impact. Here there is a super cyclonic storm, that is Amphan, is currently a very powerful tropical cyclone over the Bay of Bengal, threatening Odisha and West Bengal in India as well as Bangladesh. It is the first tropical cyclone of the 2020 North Indian Ocean cyclone season. Here, Amphan is the first super cyclonic storm in the Bay of Bengal since 1990, 1999 Odisha cyclone. Here, what are the preparations? An orange message was issued for the coasts of Odisha and West Bengal. Odisha's 6 districts are there. They are Kendrapada, Badrak, Balasore, Mayurbhanj, Jagatsinghpur and Jaijpur have been kept under active response of National Disaster Reactive Responsive Force teams under the Diga and Hatia Islands also have been altered, with the awareness being launched near the coastal pockets. There is a Amphan, that is a super cyclonic storm. That's why Odisha braces for the Amphan impact. Next one. In our first current affair, we have discussed about the final dose, that is fifth tranche of the economic stimulus package that is announced by our finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji. In that we have seen that there is no scope for health in that stimulus package. That's why I have taken this column. Where is the health in the stimulus package? A part of the relief funding must be used to improve the country's health infrastructure. Suppose COVID-19 has started first case in January. If sufficient healthcare and sufficient doctors is there, means we can reduce this. Almost now 1 lakh, nearer to 1 lakh cases are recorded in India. If a primary healthcare center, secondary healthcare center in healthcare system or a healthcare infrastructure is good, then we can minimize to that at least 50,000 only. By that, half of that we can reduce to that stage. But unfortunately in our India, no importance to the health infrastructure. Here the union and state government seem to have found the financial resources to be provide an emergency response to deal with the pandemic with agility and speed. Orders have been placed for the PPEs, that is personal protective equipments, ventilators, testing kits and other supplies needed to treat the COVID-19 patient. It is possible that resources are allocated, other health programs are being diverted to deal with the COVID-19. The opportunity cost of such a diversion of funds could be high. Media reports have pointed out, for instance, that people's access to routine maternal and child health as well as family planning services part of the country has been negatively impacted. Also, many states are simply not in a position to deal with the second wave of infections. The pandemic has exposed hard truth. This is very, very important. Most private healthcare providers seem to be incapable of and unwilling to help even during a national crisis. Once I am telling, most private healthcare providers seem to be incapable of and unwilling to help even during the national crisis. That's why we have to improve the public investment. Then only they can help in this national crisis. This is the time to seize the opportunity and invest in the universal health coverage by revising the financial neglect of the public health care. Nearly every country in the world that has achieved anything like UH, that is universal health care coverage, has done through the public assurance of primary health care. If you have taken the example of Taiwan, that is almost 99% health insurance in that country. That's why Taiwan is if Taiwan is inducted into that World Health Assembly, then it may useful for all countries to they can guide that other countries who are affecting with COVID-19. Here, announcing a new health investment plan as a part of stimulus package is the urgent need of the hour. Here we have to give importance to the as well as economy and as well as the health investment plan also. Why? Because at least 1% of GDP out of the stimulus package should be earmarked for improving the country's health infrastructure and strengthening the public health service delivery, and up to 70% of additional expenditure should be ring fenced for primary health care and further strengthening health and wellness centers. We have seen that in fifth tranche there is importance for health and wellness centers, primary health centers and community health centers. Only then can state governments be better prepared to face the second round of the pandemic. Investing in health, apart from the improving people's well-being, is also essential for accelerating and sustaining India's economic growth. I have previously told that there is a balanced approach between the lives and livelihoods. Then only we can achieve this. We can fight against this COVID-19. There is only one way to win this match, that is fight against the COVID-19. Establish a self-reliant and prosperous India. Seize the opportunity and step up the investments in public health across the country. I have previously insisted that no private healthcare providers seem to be incapable and unwilling to help that during the national crisis. That's why if we invest in the public health across the country, then it will achieve our goals. Next one, India must not give a Taliban legitimacy until it joins the intra-Afghan talks. Here we have seen in recent news, we have seen that there is a Afghan Taliban and US talks are there. Why? Because our US is inducted their military in previous 10 years back. That's why now, due to elections, Trump is want to withdraw their troops from Taliban. Why? Because more military and more lives are taken from that one. That's why the real question is that Taliban says that ISIS KP Khorasan is their enemy. Should they not join hands with the US and Afghan government to go after ISIS KP, that is Khorasan province? At the moment, the Taliban are not even willing to announce a ceasefire amidst coronavirus. We have seen that there is a attack in a maternity ward in Kabul. That's why there is no, Taliban are not even willing to announce a ceasefire, that means stopping that attacks amidst the coronavirus, amidst these brutal attacks, and not even during the month of Ramjan also. They must get a free pass from America. Here at present, the Taliban is a destructive force. It will become a political force only when it joins the intra-Afghan talks. Otherwise, at best, Taliban can pretend to be some sort of government in exile based in Doha, conducting negotiations with other players, but not with the people in Afghanistan. We have seen that last month a US person, that is Zalmai, 3-city trip, that is Doha, Kabul and New Delhi. In that they announced that there is a talks between US and Taliban. Here bilateral ties between New Delhi and Kabul remain strong, but there is a sense in India is being sidelined in the regional talks on Afghanistan. No doubt our bilateral ties are very good and we must engage in the regional process for a peace in Afghanistan. We deal with Afghanistan neighbors at many regional fora, that is SCO, RIC, SARC. However, we should not feel bad if India is not at every table. Next one, I promised to make a previous paper analysis, that is UPSC Prelims 2019. Purchasing power parity, that is PPP. Exchange rates are calculated by comparing the prices of same basket of goods and services in different countries. That is correct. In terms of PPP dollars, that is purchasing power parity dollars, India is the 6th largest country. That is wrong. Why? Because India is the 3rd largest economy in the world. First one China, and second one USA, and third one India. That's why which of the statements given above are correct? A, 1 only, B, 2 only, both 1 and 2, D, neither 1 nor 2. Our correct answer is A, 1 only. With this we can conclude our video. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. Gear up for Group 1 exam. This is Sunny Sandeep signing out. Take care. Bye bye.